Hello, you guys. Let me make sure the internet is connected. Wait a second. My name is Isis Daniel, and I am the Millennial Psalm, and we are here for my favorite day of the week. Of course, I'm going to hold tight before I sing my jingle because y'all get on me and you want to hear the jingle, and then people aren't on the live yet, and I got to wait until people are on the live, and then I got to sing the jingle, and then we got to go from there. Okay, so that's what the deal is. That's what we're doing. I'm excited. Today we're, all February long, we are going to be drinking black-owned brands wine. Boom. Of course, we're going to really focus it on Thursday. The other days during the week, we have tastings on Mondays at 6:30, Wednesdays at 7:30, and then of course we have our pre-party right here at 6 o'clock, and we have our interview where we're going to be interviewing a special guest, whoop, 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 at 7 o'clock on Instagram Live today, right after this tasting. But like I was saying, Mondays and Wednesdays, we're going to try to get as many black-owned brands as possible. However, if we're not able to, we'll figure it out. But every Thursday for sure, we will have black-owned brands. So I'm excited to get into this tasting. You guys know I did have some COVID issues. I'm over COVID, but I still have a cough. So I have my tea just to get me through. All right. But if you're in the building, you're ready for a taste, then come on, let me see some emojis, some wine emojis, and also let me know where you're tuning in from. Thank you. Thank you for the congrats. What are you congratulating me for? What did I say that I did? We do have a wine club that is available. So if you're interested in signing up to the wine club, please click the link in my bio to access it. If you see that we can't ship to your state, DM me directly. If you DM me directly, we might be able to finesse something legally so that we can send it to you. But you have to let me know. But they're on the site, we legally can't say we can ship to these states. But there are roundabout ways to get it done. So y'all let me know. Not for having COVID. Thank you, child. I'm happy to not either. But this cough, and the fatigue, that's another thing. I get really tired. But, it's all gravy. It's all good. So let's go ahead and get into this taste. And I know you guys do not like when I hold back. Who knows my jingle? Low wine calorie suggestions. There are two wines that I love. Osmosis. There's another one, Sunny with a Chance of Flowers. And there are plenty of others. Aveline, Cameron Diaz's wines are pretty good, and they are low calorie, low sugar, just health conscious wines. So I would recommend that. Okay. But do y'all know my jingle? Because if you know the song, let me flip this thing. You better sing along. That I roll be my jam. Did I roll my eyes? All right, so let me see. This is my taste. This is Tasting Thursday. Every Thursday we are here at 6 o'clock for the pre-party. Then we have our interview at 7 o'clock on Instagram Live. I'm going to go ahead and sing my jingle. So if you know the song, you better sing along. Tasting Thursday. Get it? Tasting Thursday. With your girl, the Millennial Psalm. I am she is me, and we are here for another Tasting Thursday Black History Month edition. Like, why did she pause? I was like, I forgot the word. But yes, today, this is the wine that we are getting into. So go ahead and take a screenshot. Thank you, Jay, for the rose. But yes, go ahead, take a screenshot. If you have the wine, let me see a wine emoji in the comments below. And again, let me know where you're tuning in from. I see we got Philly in the building. What's going on, you? What's going on, you guys? I'm going to go ahead and open up this wine. I have like all of the wine keys all over the place. Yes, Tasting Thursday. Am I going to be able to do it? This is like an old industry trick. If you want to open it, but you don't have a foil cutter, you warm the foil with your hand. Oh, thank you. And then you should be able to take it off. But I think my nails are too long, so I can't like get my my finger all the way around it. Can I do it? Do y'all know about this? You just learned about Brown. So who knows some cool information about Brown Estate? I would love for you guys to tap in on what you know about Brown. Because it's a pretty cool story that they have, but some awesome Black history information as well. I know I'm opening this thing super flicked, you guys. Do not, any wine professionals watching me, do not clown me for this, because I'm definitely being real weird with it. Are they the wine on Delta Airlines? I have no idea. But if that's true, that's cool. So Brown Estate, I cut myself. They're really special for, I think, one big reason. They are history. They are historic wine. Why? Because they are the first and sadly only Napa-owned wine estate. Isn't that crazy? Thank you for liking my hair round. But isn't that crazy? They are the one and only. Now, there are some other brands that are known or within Napa, of course. However, they're the only estate-owned black winery in Napa. So that's why, you can find this wine a lot of different places. I got to get my nails done because I'm hurting myself all today. And I just hurt myself like 3 times. Today, I had to move this big object and I hurt my nail right here. Yeah, I know I got to get my nails done, but when you don't get your nails done, you're more prone to hurt yourself. And I've been hurting myself all day. So tomorrow's the day. No more procrastinating. We gotta get back established into the Bad Bee Coalition. Amen. But yeah, so I love Brown Estate. I love what they stand for. First black owned. And they make fantastic wines. I know yesterday when we were talking about Snoop Dogg's wine, how much I was bigging him up because, a lot of people have a lot to say about black-owned wines. They say all black-owned wines are nasty or they're sweet. And that's not true. There are high-quality black-owned brands out there that are absolutely amazing. Brown Estate being one of them. Now, I've never had this wine before, and I'm super excited. I've heard nothing but great things. I have had this wine, though. The Chaos Theory from Brown Estate is so good. It's delicious. Right here. Take a screenshot. It's delicious. Ooh. But they're actually known for their zinfandels, which zinfandel is a huge grape in California, where this is from, Napa, California. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we already know whenever we start tasting, we want to look at the basic information that we know, all right? Which is what the label tells us. Even if you're not really sure about wine and you're kind of uneasy about it, it's okay. Where can I find Brown Estate? You can go to Chats, Chats. Chats is a wine store, black-owned wine store here in the DMV area. There are a couple other places that you can find, but I want to make sure that you're supporting black-owned businesses. And then also the Wine Concierge. That's a wine store online that I'm going to be making a video on. I haven't purchased from them yet, but it's also a black-owned wine store. They have a 30% off black-owned brand sale going on the Wine Concierge. So please make sure that you guys tune into that. Now, about Houston, I am not 100% sure. I actually am based in the DMV area. That's why I'm able to give the recommendation of where to go. However, I'm pretty sure on most wineries, if you go to their website, most wineries have a search engine where you can find out where their wines are. So either go to Google and say Brown Estate wines and a few stores should come up, or go to their website and see if they have a search engine so that you can find their wines. Okay, what's going on, tacos? DC Millie in the building. What's going on? All right, heading to the DMV for wine and mead next week. Ooh, wine and mead. I like mead actually. Okay, yeah. The Chaos Theory, their bottle is super cool, right? Y'all know I'll be over here. My throat just decide when it's gonna stop working. All right, doing tour. Owner told story about how many bats they found when they cleared out their cellar. Napa, Sonoma, California, wine country, there are a lot of bats. There are a lot of bats. When I went to California this past summer, we were like, not the bats flying around in the vineyard. Not the bats. So yeah, that happens. So let's go ahead and start with the first portion of our tasting, which is reading the label. I want to demystify reading the label because I want you guys to know that it's really not that deep. When you start with reading the label, you just read what it says. If you know what it means, awesome. If you don't, at least you know the producer, you know the variety, you know the region, and you know the vintage. From there, you can go to a somm or wine store or anything and tell them, I like this wine. It had this variety from this region in this vintage. And they should be able to find something, if not that specific wine, a similar wine, or say you didn't like that wine at all, a wine that is completely different from that. That's why we pay attention, okay? So we already established that the producer is Brown Estate. What is the variety? What's the variety? Now, for all my newbies, I want you to participate. Don't be afraid to give an answer, even if you're wrong. I'm going to tell you. It's okay. All right? And I'm also going to give you hints here and there. So what is the variety? Let me know. Okay? Zen. Kyle said Zen. Jay Deluxe said Zen. That's a good question. I'm going to keep pushing though. You said, what restaurant in the DMV area has the best wine by the glass? Let me think about that one. But yes, Zen is the correct answer. What do we know about the variety Zen? Now, if you know a little something, this is to help the newbies who are in the room and they're like, okay, I see a bottle. I see that it's a Zen. But what does it mean? Like, come on, y'all tell me while you're in the comments letting me know what Zens are. Couple news updates. This is Tasting Thursday. Tasting Thursday. Our weekly tasting that happens every Thursday at 6 o'clock, the pre-party before we head over to Instagram, where we have an author, Black-owned author, who's all about wine. She has a podcast. She has newsletters, blogs. Like, she's all wine media. So if you guys want to get to know her, head over at 7 o'clock and join me on Instagram Live. But yes, Zens, big, bold, high tannin, residual sugar, high ABV. Absolutely correct. Slow the hand language, sister. No, that's how I communicate. Ha! All right. So yeah, absolutely. That's right. Big, bold, high tannin. Usually get nice juicy fruit whenever you see a whenever you see a Zen. Is a Zinfandel red or white wine? Trick question, but y'all should know the answer. Red or white wine? What is a Zen? Red or white wine? What we dealing with? Zen, red, white. DC Millie said red. Hair Artistry said white. Jay said red. All right, lady said white. Body red. Bay red. KT white. Both. Ha. Ha ha. I feel you, but too. It's okay. I like to talk with my hands. I'm comfortable. Red grapes, but ... So yes, Zinfandel is typically a red wine, all right? Typically a red wine. It is a red grape. However, I know that you guys, a lot of people are used to white Zinfandel, which is actually a rosé. However, you know, all wine bleeds white technically. Of course, there's going to be variation in color because where does red color come from? Do you guys know? Let me know in the comments. When we look at a red wine, a rosé wine, an orange wine, which is amber / skin contact white, which I just gave y'all the answer if you weren't listening. What do we think? Okay, yes, skins. Yes, I love a good Prima Vito. It's its cousin. It's technically not the cousin. Prima Vito is more like Zinfandel's twin brother. They're the same grape, but because they're grown in different regions, they have a different style. So that's the difference between Prima Vito and Zinfandel. They are genetically the same grape. Just the regions cause them to have a different experience. Okay? Here in the United States, we have more jammy, bold, nice acidity. We might even have a little more residual sugar left in our wine. Whereas in Prima Vito, in Italy, right? Theirs is going to be a little more leather, a little more earthy, drier, okay? But they're still the same. They're twins. Same genetics, but different, right? But yes, we get the color of our wine from the skins. So I don't know what I was talking about beforehand because I went down a rabbit hole. You're late. It's okay. This is the wine that we're having, Black owned. This is the first and only Black owned estate in Napa, California. They make fabulous wines and we're going to get into it. And we're also going to have this wine while I interview my guests on Instagram Live at 7 o'clock. Okay? All right. So I don't remember what I was talking about with the skins, but yes, that is where I was talking about white Zinfandel. So when we're talking about, you know, white Zinfandel, which is actually a rosé, it just has a shorter amount of skin contact. And then also with white Zins, they're typically sweet. Okay, but the real Gun Ho Zen is going to be a red wine, again, with red coming from the skins, okay? Now, if you don't have your tasting sheet, you can get this on my website. It's only $1, but just know, once this wine journal comes out, this little tasting sheet is going to disappear. The wine journal is going to have a lot of information. Some information we're going to jump into today, but just want to give you guys a heads up about that. So if you don't have it, please go and tune in on the website so you can download the tasting sheet, and then also sign up to my mailing list so that you can know everything about the Millennial Somm, including wine club sign up, which is happening right now. If you go to the sign up and you don't see, or you see that we can't ship to you, email me at the Millennial Somm directly. There might be a way for us to get you some wine. So please check that out. All right. I like Pinot Grigio and Sauvignon Blanc. What red profiles are like those? So with red wine, the reason why we call them red wine is because they come from red grapes. With Pinot Grigio and Sauvignon Blanc, those are white grapes. So they can make a skin contact white, which we call orange wine or amber wines, because the color of the white grapes, typically once they are ripe, they turn orange or amber in their hue of the skin. So it's a different conversation from red wine profiles. Just want to give you a heads up about that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part. Who knows the very first step of wine tasting? Let me know in the comment below if you know. Let me know in the comment below. I'm here in the DMV area. I don't know what you mean by limited sign up, but the sign up does end on the 18th. So if that's what you mean, then yes. We sign up is open now, and for March, it will close on the 18th. Then we'll start the sign up for the next month, okay? All right, we got sight, and we got swirl, smelling. All right, so let me go ahead and put these steps in the comments. But for everyone who said sight, that is correct. Why do you think we start with sight? I know that we want to get straight to the whole tasting, into smelling and sipping and savoring, but why do we start with sight? Dang. It's okay. We're here to learn. We're here to learn. Okay, so why do we start with sight? Let me know in the comments. What do we think? Y'all don't talk to me. I'm going to just tell you. All right, I'm going to tell you. So the reason why we start with sight is because there's a lot of information that we can gain or kind of start with by looking at it, right? So when we look at the wine, we do not look up here or here or here. We look down. Yeah, if you don't know, tell me you don't know. Talk to me. Don't make me feel like I'm by myself. By the way, we try to get to 5,000 likes. So double tap that screen so we can get to 5K likes if we can. And then after 5K, we go to 10, 15, 20K. That's the goal. And of course, if you want to send gifts, all that, I really do appreciate. These are free wine tastings that I go out and buy wines for. So if you want to do that, totally appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So the reason why we look at our wine is because based off the color, we'll know if the wine is white or red, rosé, or orange wine, right? Then after we dive into which category we're in, even the hue of the wine tells us or gives us a hint. What's the acidity of this wine going to be? We might even be able to look at the wine and kind of guess, okay, it's this color, so it might be a zinfandel, it might be a pinot noir, it might be all of these different things. When people talk about looking at the legs, right? We don't look at the legs to assess quality. However, the legs could tell us the thick legs slowly going down the glass. So maybe this wine is high in sugar, or perhaps this wine is high in alcohol or has full body. That's why we look at the wine, to kind of give us a clue on what we're getting ready to get into before we go to smell, to sip, and then after that, savor, which is the overall experience. What do I like? What don't I like? All that jazz. I'm looking good today. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So when we look at sight, this is our sight breakdown. Okay. So when we talk about clarity, how clear is it? Sometimes with natural wines especially, or patinats, things like that, they may leave sediment in the glass and not find the wine. So you will see, things floating in the wine, and it will look a little hazy. That is the first step of looking at your wine. Is it clear or is it hazy? Now, I know that we are on camera, so you guys might not be able to get the full experience, but just go ahead and just tell me what you think we're seeing. So is the wine clear or is it hazy? What do we think? We think we see things floating around? I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out how to do this without spilling everything anywhere. Let me know, comments below. Talk to me. Okay, we got a hazy. Danielle's in the building. What's up, sis? Danielle, my best friend. And she's my mama in the house too. I feel like I gotta show my mom some love because I didn't do that to my mama. Hey, mom. All right, so we got clear, and we got a little bit. That's why we need to get the wine with you. Exactly. That's why I tell y'all ahead of time. Every Friday on my events page, if you click it, every Friday I update what the wines are so you can taste along with me. All right, so that's the jam. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and say that this wine is definitely clear. Now, do we think that this wine is purple, ruby, or garnet? Purple being having more blue hues, ruby being more red, garnet being more burnt orange. What do we think? And I'm trying to do it so that y'all can see. And I know I got my shirt on, child. What do we think it is? Someone said garnet. And remember, we're dealing with a zinfandel. We got ruby. All right, we got a couple rubies. Now, I'm going to look at this wine accurately. I'm going to look down. I'm going to look at the edge of the wine, right? The rim of the wine to assess the color, and then the pit of the wine to assess the depth, which we're going to get into, okay? So I definitely think that this wine is more on the ruby side. I'm writing everything down. That's what you're going to do when you get your wine journal. But in the meantime, download it for $1 from my website and get the tasting sheet. Amen. So we got ruby. I said that it's clear. Now, looking at the pit of the wine, this is what I typically do. I have a white piece of paper with writing, right? Black writing. And I look through the pit and I ask myself, how easy is it for me to read through it? Okay. So if it's super easy, I can read it. I can read all the words. We can go ahead and say it's pale ruby. If you can't read anything at all, deep ruby. But if it's somewhere in the middle, like I can read it, but I got to try a little hard, go ahead and put medium. Now, I know you guys can't really tell because I'm not able to show it to you in a manner that you guys can see. But what do we think this is? Do we think that this is a medium or a pale, medium, or deep ruby color? What we thinking? I know what I think. And wait, who has the wine? Who said orange? Body, I'm gonna get you. All right, we got a medium, we got a deep. And if you have the wine, let me see a wine emoji. If you don't have the wine, it's totally okay. If you have a different wine, I just ask if you participate, and I ask. If you don't have the wine, it's totally okay. If you have a different wine, I just ask if you participate, and I ask questions and you're talking about a different wine, put a smiley face emoji so that I know that we're not talking about the same wine, okay? But yeah, I absolutely agree with deep. I think this is a clear, deep ruby color. Amen. Will this stop after we join the wine club? What would stop? What you asking me? I don't know what you asking me. Tell me what you ask me. All right, so let's go ahead. What is the second step of tasting? We did sight. What's the second step? Numero dos. I don't know why I said it like that. What's the second step of tasting? We did sight. Oh, where we at? We did sight. What's this? Smell. Smell. Thank you, lady. No, the tastings will not end. However, eventually you will have to pay for these tastings on live. So that is something that's going to happen. I'm not sure how soon in the future. It's a feature that's going to be on TikTok very soon. And once it begins, my wine club members will be able to come on and join us for no fee. But of course, there's going to be a private tasting only for wine club members. That's going to happen as well. So there's a lot of perks that are going to happen for my wine clubbers. Okay. That's why you need to sign up. Free to wine club peeps. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of smell. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. All right, y'all. Let me get good cough. All right, let's go. Smell breakdown. You're going to get your nose all the way up in there and deeply inhale. Don't be cute. Don't be cute. Like, get in there, deeply inhale. See if you can get at least 5 aromas. If you can't, that's when we swirl and repeat. Get your nose in there, list what you can, and then we'll move on to our third step, which is sip, okay? I know, right? I'm weird. It's all good. That's why we here. That's why we family. All right, let's go. Whew. I can tell you right now, the alcohol is probably high because it smells like alcohol. So, who wants to tell me a trick? I've told you guys before, a trick that you can do if you have a wine that smells like it might be high in alcohol, which this definitely smells like it is. Okay? Alcohol smells like alcohol at the end of the day. And your nose hairs feel like it's going to burn off. And you're like, there's a trick. If you know the trick, put a 1. If you don't know the trick, put a 2. When the wine smells like it has high alcohol and it's hard for you to smell anything, if you know the answer, put a 1. If you don't know, put a 2. If I want to get into wine and it's my first time, how do I figure out which wine best fits me? That's a very good question. Honestly, for me, I think you should pay attention to what you drink outside of wine. I know that for me, I really liked whiskey. I could drink whiskey straight, just sip it all day long. Okay, not all day long, child. I ain't trying to sound like an alcoholic, but I pay attention to, do you like fruity cocktails? If you like fruity cocktails, then you probably want to go the, more fruity route of your wine. Say you like beers with a lot of hops, you like IPAs, then maybe you can handle a full-bodied red wine that has a little bit of that bitterness or underripe characters from Old World. I think starting with what you do like outside of wine can kind of help figure out where to start. But just be open to try new things and go to these tastings. Because when you come here and we're talking about what flavors, what does this taste like? What don't you like? What do you like? You're able to refine what it is that you don't like and what you do like to discover the wines that are more in your alley. Okay? So all the people who put 2, put a burning match in it. I don't think that's the right answer, Miss Stewart. KT Stewart. Okay? So what I typically do, I'll swirl and I put the glass to its side and I smell it. It's almost as if the alcohol gets trapped in the glass and I can smell all of the aromas. So if you ever are at a tasting and say it's, the alcohol in the wine is clearly super high, that is a great way, like drinking sherries or ports or any other high alcoholic wine. Well, this will be the best way to go about it, okay? So on the nose, smell good. I'm getting kind of a few of the typical aromas of a Zin. I'm definitely getting a little strawberry, a little raspberry. And you guys, I'm just writing it down. You love the glass. We're going to be selling these soon. Sell them to the wine club so you know what's going on. Okay. Tasting at local store on weekends to find out what you like. That's great idea. Definitely do that. I actually have a video for anyone who wants to learn more about the difference of glassware. I'll pin it to my video so that you guys can see, but I did make a video for that. Okay? So yeah, I am getting strawberry, raspberry, more red fruit than I was actually anticipating. But I'm also getting a little bit like a sweet tobacco. It has like a smokiness to it. So if we're talking about sweet tobacco and we're talking about smoke, what flavors are they connected to? Let me know in the comments. If you don't know, put a 1. If you do know, go ahead and answer. Sweet tobacco, smoke, cedar, things of that sort. What is that connected to? And you can guess too. You can guess. If you're wrong, I'll just tell you. It's okay. Okay, so I said sweet tobacco and smoke. What else am I getting out of this? So we got one Merlot, IDK. I'm not here enough. It's okay. Keep coming. Someone said Woody. Valencia said, oh, you better get that, Mom. You better act like you my mama. Don't act like you don't know. Warm, earthy. Are y'all describing this wine or y'all telling me what it's connected to? Because y'all giving me more wood. Y'all describing oak. And I'm very proud of you guys because you answered the question backwards. But that means y'all have an idea. So I'm proud of you. But yes, when we start talking about sweet tobacco, when we start talking about smoke, cedar, and actually I have my little piece of paper right here. This is like a draft. Not all of it's here, but this is one little part of my wine tasting journal that you will see the flavor breakdown. And this is actually a secondary characteristic of wine. This is oak contact, a little bit of, yeah, Mom, you answered the question. You said oak. That's the right answer. Someone said BBQ. I mean, but truly, zinfandels are great for barbecue. So don't be weak. Be empowered. Because they on to something. Y'all gave answers that did not answer any question that I asked, but it still was relevant to this wine. So get it how you live, okay? So the cool thing about this wine, oh man, I printed it out, but I didn't go get it. So I printed the tasting sheet, and it actually said that this wine was aged 11 months in 30% new oak, 50% French oak, and 50% American oak, okay? So yes, oak can influence the wine and oak, okay? So yes, oak can influence the wine and how it tastes and all of that jazz, but new oak specifically really does that trick, okay? And of course, the two have, no, it's okay, I don't need it. Oh, thank you, Mom. Appreciate you. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you. I said that. She was like, let me go get your paper for you, honey. But yeah, so there are two flavors. So give me some flavors. What are some flavors that are attributed to French oak? Let's start there. French oak. And if you don't know, it's okay. And if you want to write notes, take notes, because I will definitely, tell y'all what's going on. But of course, when you get my wine journal, you'll be able to see. This is the wine we're tasting. Thank you, Off Camera Hero. For real, my mom always come in clutch. Do not get it twisted. Do not. But yeah, so we are drinking a black-owned wine. This is the first and the only, which I'm not happy about the only part, but first and only black-owned wine estate in Napa. They make fabulous wines, but particularly they are known for their zinfandels, and that's what we're tasting today. And I really want to get through the smell because I'm ready to taste this wine. I ain't gonna hold you. But what are some flavors of French oak? Y'all not answering me. That means y'all don't know. All right, let me tell you. So some typical flavors of French oak: vanilla, brown bacon spices like nutmeg, clove, allspice, cedar, which is that woody character we were talking about, smoke. Okay, chocolate and ginger are some of the, thank you, Lexus, are some of the typical of French oak. But what are some flavors of American oak? And I'm about to see if I'm getting any of that. I mean, interesting. So interesting. Okay, girl, you better know. You better know what you're talking about. Yes, coconut, vanilla, dill, roasted coffee, toast. And when you're in the beginning of your wine journey, so raspberry and strawberry are our primary characteristics. Those are flavors that come directly from the fruit or during fermentation, okay? But then when we move to secondary, that's when we're talking about winemaker choices. Are we using oak? Are we having any type of deliberate oxidation, malolactic fermentation, lees aging? Those are our secondary. Come on, Afro Queen. Hey, boo. My coconut hurts. Uh-oh, not your coconut hurts. But yes, you got to slide me your answers. Yes. But it's actually interesting. So the reason why in my wine journal, I do want to have you know, my flavors and aromas page and other pages, because when you first start drinking wine, you don't even know what to think. You don't even know what flavors or aromas to even consider when you're drinking wine, right? So I love being able to go back to the sheet that I created, or even my W set that I still go back to sometimes, and actually ask myself, what am I getting? Am I getting coconut? Am I getting vanilla? Am I getting roasted coffee? And truthfully, after looking at this, I do get a little bit of roasted coffee in this. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna write that down. Interesting. And I mean, I know I said smoke, but I am gonna also write cedar. And it also has like a little like herbal characteristic as well. And I'm hoping that's not my my tea that I drink so I don't die in the middle of the live. But it also has a little bit of an herbal, like eucalyptus mint kind of aroma as well. So I'm going to write that down. Interesting. All right, you guys. Thank you for you page. Where did I get my glasses? These I got from eBay. Here, this is my prototype of the wine glass that I'm trying to sell. We are trying to figure that whole thing out so that we can get that out for you guys sooner rather than later. So hold tight, sign up to my mailing list so that you know when all the releases come out. Okay? So this is the wine that we're tasting. If you're new, go ahead and screenshot it. But what is the third step of tasting? I put it in the chat. If you need to scroll up, scroll up. If you need me to re-show it, I can re-show all the steps. But this is the one. I'm just trying to let people screenshot if they need a screenshot. And keep on hitting that like button so we can get to 5,000. Continue to share so more people can discover us. All right. Someone said tasting. That's correct. Tasting. Sup. Amen. Sup. I like that too. But yes, sip is the next portion of our tasting. This is my favorite portion of the tasting. Then we're going to get to my second favorite portion. All right. Oh, getting ahead of myself. Let me put the breakdown in the chat. Are y'all feeling this wine? Are y'all excited about this wine? Want to go out and taste it? I mean, it honestly has a lot. It was very intensity level of this wine is pretty high. Like it's not, I would say medium plus. Because there's a lot going on. Honestly. I'm actually getting a little... It's a little jammy. Which, well... I'm going to rock with it. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to just keep going. All right. Definitely interesting if there's coconut. No. I didn't smell coconut. But coconut is a typical aroma that is attached to... American oak, okay? But I didn't get any coconut in this wine. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our tasting. What I typically do, I take a sip, I swish it all around, I bite down, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get as much wine to mouth contact as possible. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to warm up the wine and I want to marinate. I want to feel acidity right here, or kind of saliva or, moisture kind of rush in my mouth. I want to put the wine up here and see, does my mouth or the tannins in the wine dry my mouth out? Like, does it feel like sandpaper? Am I getting nice texture? That's what we're trying to do. I want to lean back and deeply inhale and see, do I feel heat coming down so I can know that there's high alcohol possibly, even though I told you on the nose it smells like it is. But then also sometimes I get a prickly feeling, and the prickly feeling can either be acidity or alcohol. So that's why I'm going to be looking a little crazy as I sip, but I encourage you to do the same. And if people look at you like you're crazy, it's just because they don't know what they're doing. Hold up. Woo! All right. Y'all, I come on these live tastings, my throat's like, honey, why are you talking so much? Why are you talking so much? All right, let's go. Dang, man, that almost made me cuss. Oh my God, why is this wine so good? Ah! Mom! Bro! guess she watching the live. I didn't have to. Yes, throat. Yes to the throat coat. You better know. But y'all, I'm still tasting the wine. When we talk about a long finish, this is what we're talking about. You take a sip and you just sit there. And you just marinate and you just wait for it to disappear and it just don't never. Like, I can still taste the wine. Oh my God. Man, brown estate, you don't have to do it like that. You don't have to disrespect us like that. Like, why does this wine taste so good? This wine is so freaking good. Okay? When have y'all seen me on this live talk about a wine like this? I don't even understand.
That's not.
This wine is so good. All right. Let's talk about it. Let me talk about it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like having a whole moment. I love when I come across a great wine. When I come across a great wine. All right. So I'm still getting that raspberry. That raspberry is so like, That's what that raspberry tastes like to me. It's delicious. Okay. Calm down. So we got raspberry. Honestly, I'm getting a little more vanilla on the palate than I was on the nose. I am actually still getting that herbal kind of flavor as well. All right. Nice acidity, nice tannin. I mean, I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to find, I got to focus. All right. So I'm still getting a little tobacco. The smoke is there, but it's not as in your face as it was on the nose. But I'm going to be real with you. For this to be 30% new oak, I really feel like they did an excellent job integrating all of the flavors. And then also oh my God, this wine is so good. And then also breaking down the entire experience of this wine from sweetness, acidity, tannin, alcohol. I mean, nothing is overpowering each other. So when we get down to the savor breakdown, this is what I talk about when I say overall balance. This is what makes fine wine fine wine. When we talk about the flavor components, yes, there's been oak aging, but the fruit still stands on its own. The fruit is still there saying, hey, listen, I'm here. But then, you got the tobacco and that little herbal, underripe kind of little characteristics going on as well, saying, listen, fruit, I'm trying to uplift you. That's what this wine is doing, okay? So sweetness level, let's talk about it. What does dry mean in the comments? Let me know what dry means in the comments. Wine cup question. Can I still join? Yes, you can. Now, if you send me an email to the millennialsom@gmail.com. Okay, millennialsom@gmail.com. Send me your address and your name, and I will forward you to my the lady who's actually helps run my wine club. She's the one who takes care of all the shipping and all of that. Email me directly, and I will let you know from there if we can ship to you or not. Okay? Email me directly. But yes, so no to low residual sugar, no detectable residual sugar. Okay? Now, zinfandels typically have a little bit of residual sugar because the grape itself ripens at different times. So Zins are one of my favorite varieties because of that. It's naturally built to be complex. It's naturally built to give you nice acidity. It's still going to be kind of like medium to low acidity typically, but you're still going to get nice brightness from the underripe grapes rather. But then you also have those ripe grapes within that same cluster. So then you get nice fruit, you get nice sugar, you get high alcohol, you get boldness and complexity just because of how it was grown. I love Zins. And you can definitely experience that from this wine right here, okay? So is it dry? Let's see. I mean, I think it's dry, but someone who might have a high sensitivity to sugar might say off dry. That's just a typical thing that happens with Zins, but I'm gonna go ahead and rock with it's a dry wine. As far as acidity is concerned, I did get a nice little rush of acidity, but it wasn't super overpowering and mouthwatering like a Riesling per se. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the acidity is medium. Now tannin, it had nice texture, you guys. So this is what I'm talking about. What I love when I have my wine, when you drink a wine with nice acidity, you get a rush of moisture, right? But then tannin will come in, and if it integrates well, what will happen is you'll have that moisture, and then you will actually feel the tannin suck up that moisture and leave a nice sensation in your mouth. That is beauty, and that's what this wine does. You feel that moisture, but then you feel tannin kind of take over, but not too aggressively. Like when you drink a Tanat that's super, super high in tannin, or even some Cabernet Sauvignons that are high in tannin, it can be kind of aggressive if it's not well integrated, or you have to age it for a little while to soften those tannins. So I definitely am going to go ahead. Well, let me see. Let me see again. All right. So I leave my tannin up here so I can feel the dryness. I definitely think that the tannin on here is high. My entire upper lip is dry and got no moisture. However, I'm also feeling pinching, and that pinching, because I kind of already feel the acidity, and I think the acidity is medium, I'm feeling alcohol right here. It's like pinching. That's how I know. I'm going to go ahead and skip to alcohol and say that the alcohol, no, that's next up. Alcohol, I do think is high. Another way that I assess alcohol, I'll actually take a sip and I'll inhale and feel if I can feel heat going down. That trick works sometimes, not all the time, but it is something that I do. So fruit forward until I don't mind. Oh, so fruit forward until you don't mind that it's still dry. Absolutely. If you don't like tannin, you don't like that dry feeling, or you think that that tannin is bitter, which are not, it's not the same thing. Just want to let you know, if you find a wine that is more fruit forward or has nice acidity, it really does tame back that tannin that makes your mouth feel dry. So it's just something to think about. Write it down for later when you're looking for wines and you want to try something new. Now, let's go ahead and try the alcohol. Even though I'm feeling the piercing up here, let's go ahead and feel alcohol down here. Yeah, it's not a lot of heat, but you can feel it, and you have to continue to practice, continue tasting so that you can figure out how your body responds to wine. But I definitely think that the alcohol is high in this. And then body is the weight of the wine in your mouth. Okay, so when we talk about light bodied wines, we're thinking more soy milk, 1% milk, right? Medium, we're going to the almond / 2% milk, where you're getting a little more weight to it, a little thickness, a little texture. Then we move to full body, and with full body, think syrup sometimes when we think of some dessert wines, but then you can also think whole milk or oat milk or anything like that, where there's more weight, depth to the wine. Now, I ask you guys this all the time, so if you're a regular, you should know the answer. If you don't know, still answer, and we'll see. You know, I'll tell you if you're right or you're wrong, and then we learn and we move on. Amen. Body. What is body directly connected to? Out of sweetness, acidity, tannin, alcohol, and body. And I'll put them in the chat so that you guys can tell me. But what are the two flavors? Oh, excuse me, the two experiences that are directly connected to the body? And don't mind the numbers. I just copied and pasted from the thing that I have here. So from sweetness, acidity, tannin, and alcohol, which of the two are directly connected to body? All right, Amanda said tannin and acidity. Anyone else want to give a go? Woo! Come on, y'all, guys. All right, so we got tannin and alcohol. Thank you, Felicia, for answering. Tannin and alcohol from Lexis. Anyone else? We have another. Samba said tannin and alcohol. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in it. I think we have enough answers. Thank you guys so much for participating in that. So the two is going to be sugar content. So it's going to be sweetness level. and alcohol. These are the two components of the wine that contributes to the body of the wine. So think sweet wines. Think, I don't know, you don't even got to think sweet wines. Think syrup. Super, super sweet sugar content. It causes the thickness of the sugar to, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm struggling. It causes the syrup to be thick. It's the sugar. So sometimes you might have a wine that's low in alcohol, but extremely high in sugar, and the body will be full because of the sweetness level. Or you can have a dry wine like the wine we have today, right? A dry wine that has high alcohol, and we're going to see what the alcohol content is, but has high alcohol and the body will be full. So whenever, especially if you're taking a test, like your WSET test or any other program, if you say that the alcohol is high, you better say that the body is full on your test. Now, sometimes they're going to be in the actual experience. It might not always line up like that, but typically it does. So I'm going to ask y'all again, connected to the body, what two elements of the wine is connected to body? Is it sweetness, acidity, tannin, or alcohol? What two are connected to body? Sweetness, acidity, tannin, or alcohol? Let me know, and we're going to move on. Sweetness and alcohol. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, girl. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So the body, honestly, I already know from feeling it that the body is full, so I'm not going to trip. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and say that the body is full, okay? So what is the overview of this wine? If you're just tuning in, this is the wine that we're tasting. You can go ahead and screenshot it. Now, this Zinfandel from Brown Estate, Napa Valley, vintage. Let me know in the comments what vintage means. What does this 2019 mean in the comments below? But this wine is a clear, deep ruby, has a clear, deep ruby color. On the nose, we were getting strawberry, roasted coffee, blackberry, sweet tobacco, smoke and cedar, and a little bit of an herbal characteristic. On the palate, we were getting a lot of the same things, but definitely getting that raspberry, a little bit more vanilla, smoke, tobacco, and an herbal characteristic there. The sweetness level was dry. However, we would accept a off dry. Acidity medium, tannin high, alcohol high, body is full. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate you. I really do. Yeah, I'm about to end it. Mom is like, I gotta get off. I do have to get off because I have an interview on Instagram Live, you guys. So right after we finish here, please go to Instagram at The Millennial Sun, where I'm going to interview my guest, Sarita, who is a author. Hold up. Y'all, when I tell you, her book is so freaking cute. So this is the book. This is who I'm going to be interviewing today. It is an activity book. So if you like puzzles, if you want to learn more about Black-owned brands or Black, wine professionals, anything like that, this book is amazing. We're going to talk more about it during our interview. So please, 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 after we get off this at 7 o'clock on Instagram Live, get you some wine and tune in so that you can meet someone doing it big. She is all over media. Absolutely amazing. So that's what we're going to do. But yes, that is when the grapes were harvested. That's what 2019 means. Now let's go ahead and get to our last part of our tasting, because I have to get off and get over to Instagram. And y'all know I got to take a break. I got to re-up on my tea. All right, so savor. Now, I ain't going to hold you. This wine was pretty freaking amazing for me. What do I like about this wine? Let me know in the comments. What did you like about this wine? Tell me in the comments below what you liked about it. Honestly, for me, it was just the vibe. This wine's vibe is absolutely ridiculous. Well balanced, well integrated. I feel like I wish that the fruits, I don't know. It's just, I think maybe if the, all right. I like this wine because it's just simply delicious. Okay. I think that this wine, I love the herbal, it wasn't like, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I like this wine because of all the flavors. It had a great intensity, from the fruit to the smoke, to the herbal characteristics. I mean, honestly, it was very complex, which is a typical Zin, which sometimes people take the Zin, which is a great grape, and they still don't make a great wine, which I really don't even understand how they do that. But I think that they respected the grape and it was delicious. Now, what don't I like? It's not that I don't like it. I think that they still had room for more depth of flavor. Although it did have a crazy, delicious, long finish, it still wasn't building. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I love out of a wine. I love when I get a little more tannin. I think if it had a little more tannin for my palate, I think I would like this wine a little bit more. A little more texture on the tongue. I think when you have a wine like this, you go from your regular assessment of just regular wines, and then now that this wine is so good, I'm like, I got to compare you to the greats. And this wine is definitely trying to be one of the greats, but it's not all the way there. It's like almost there. Will you experience the death as it continues to breathe? Very much so a possibility. This wine might be better if it were decanted. I think that's a great question and a great option. So I would recommend that. Yeah, I think I would definitely try that out, Valencia. Thank you for asking that, because I think that's great. My IG is the same as my TikTok, The Millennial Psalm, at The Millennial Psalm. I loved how dry it was. Best Zin we had. This one here is bomb. Now, overall balance, the overall balance of this wine, child, it was, okay, overall balance was great. I think that although the wine had high alcohol in the nose, when I tasted the wine, it actually didn't taste or feel like it had extremely high alcohol, which the alcohol is 14.5, which is high, okay? Medium is 11 to 13.9. High is 14 and above. Low is 10.9 and under. Okay, so this is definitely a high alcohol wine, but when you were drinking it, it didn't feel like it or taste like it. So I think that's amazing. The acidity and the tannin really did complement each other. This wine is just a great example of a Napa Zin, an excellent example of a Napa Zin. Overall rating, I can't give it a 5 because I've experienced the 5 before. I can give it a 4.5 though, and I stand by that. Man, I mean, honestly, I would give this wine a 4.7. But I'm going to say 4.5. Just for the sake of 5-10. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say. This is the wine. We're going to go over to Instagram in 9 minutes. So if you're interested, go ahead and tune in. We're going to talk about this wine with my guests anyway. So go over to Instagram at The Millennial Psalm, where we're going to interview my friend Sharita, who's here in the DMV area, who has her own wine book. She's a wine media mogul. Okay, she all over the place when it comes to media. So let's go ahead and head over to Instagram. Take a bathroom break, grab some wine, get some popcorn, do what you got to do, and I will see you on Instagram Live at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is in less than 10 minutes, okay? Young Napa Zin, think it would be better with a little age or no? You can definitely age this wine. You can definitely age this wine. I wouldn't probably do more than, now, this is me. I have to research it and make sure I'm telling you the right thing, but based off of my understanding of flavor profile, I really do think that 5 to 10 years max on this wine. Anything more than I don't think it will be good. I mean, honestly, I'm a little hesitant on the 10. So that's what I would say. But I could be wrong. I'll look it up and let you know. All right, I'll see y'all in a few minutes. See you on Instagram. Bye. Oh, wait, how I get out?